Hello, everyone, and welcome out to episode 346 of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. And some of the people that make the show possible, packratcomics.com for more information on them, or audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky, or the magically unauthorized misadventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Check out our show notes over at gbgpodcast.com. We are also part of the It's All Been Done Presents Network, or IABDP, and speaking of IABDP, this network is more than just audio, like this podcast, for example. They now have a YouTube channel. Want to see some of the fun behind-the-scenes stuff from It's All Been Done Radio Hour, or maybe some thank yous to our fans, or maybe just friends of the network hanging out, goofing around? Well, we are now filming things and posting them online because we don't care about our own privacy. And, well, we never had any shame anyway. It's all been done, so check it out at iabdpresents.com. All right, now this episode is part of our Young Writers, and it's the last of our Young Writers series. So I hope you guys have enjoyed these 2 updates a week. It's sort of me saying thank you for being patient with me as I moved into my new place and dealt with just the new job, the new place, moving and all that stuff. I appreciate it so much. Now, Andrea wrote The Void, which is part of the Saturday night set of shows, and I believe when this is going up, this will be the last chance to check out the Young Writers Short Play Festival for 2017. So Friday night, which is July 28th at 8 p.m., and then Saturday, July 29th at 8 p.m., come check out Mad Lab's Young Writers. And guys, tickets sell fast. So for more information on Young Writers or for tickets, go to madlab.net. And for more information on Young Writers, click on the Young Writers icon or go to Theater, and then under the submenu, choose Young Writers 2017. For tickets, well, go to madlab.net and then click on Tickets, which is in the far right unless you're doing mobile. Then at that point, I have no idea what it looks like. But you know what? You should definitely get it. It's awesome. And you guys save some money if you become members. So please do that. Ticket prices are $18 for normal general admittance, students and seniors $15, while members $13. See, it's pretty great to be a member. You get to support local arts, see great shows, and get a few extra bucks off the top of your ticket price. And I think you get a t-shirt as well. For more information, madlab.net. Okay, guys, here we are. Episode 346. I talked to Andrea Gapsch. I hope I said your name right, Andrea. If not, I feel like a tool. So apologies. Andrea was the last one I spoke to here at The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, and she was, like everyone else, amazing to talk to. And she had a very different take on the whole wanting to get a degree in literature and writing and all that, which is she wants to be an editor. Find out a little bit more about her insights on that. We talk about Doctor Who, horror films, Stephen King, The Sound and the Fury, which is not a Ray Bradbury story like I thought was. It's actually now in retrospect, she told me a award-winning a book by Faulkner. And again, we talk about all that and more in this episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's the last of our Young Writers 2017 interview series. Here's Andrea, the writer of The Void, here on The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky, episode 346. I'm speaking with Andrea, and what school did you go to?
I went to Hilliard Bradley.
Hilliard Bradley, okay.
Yes, and I'm going to OU.
Schools. Are you going to OU, the party school?
Yes.
You're like, yes, I'm excited, yes, so excited. So now, because I find like each school is a little different, or how everyone submitted their plays are a little different. First off, what play did you do? I think that's another important.
Okay, I wrote The Void with Zoe Thomas.
The Void is amazing, by the way.
Thanks.
The second read through, I really liked the man in suit. I thought that was it was a lot of fun. And it was so interesting. So what has changed? As a matter of fact, we were in Mad Lab the other day where they were also rehearsing in the main stage space. What's the biggest change from what we read in the second read-through in the final version?
Okay, we didn't really change much throughout it, but the ending changed. We finally decided if we were going to be ambiguous or not with the ending, and for the past 9 drafts, we ended very ambiguously. Mm-hmm. And then this one we were like, we want it to happen. We might as well let it.
So there's going to be spoilers on this because I'm going to dig deep here, people.
Okay.
I want to well, yeah, because so for those who don't know, the Void is about this girl. It's actually a very interesting. It's kind of how you feel when you are applying for colleges,
Yes.
which is interesting. Which is, it's a high-low concept. You know what I mean? Like it's very high in nature, but in how it's presented, it's very basic, which is nice. Which is there is a void, a door or void to the right. And college admissions, they come in and it's like, well, these are all your stuff, but there's all this other crap that you don't feel you need. So, you know what? You don't need it. We're going to toss into the void, and you'll never get it back. It's kind of and it's like, oh, it's my relationships with friends, boyfriends. I like to read. I can't read anymore for pleasure. It's all for school. And they just toss it into the void.
Yep.
And the ending that was there originally was, and the mom and sister, she's kind of feels that she's being bred to be a doctor. Is that what it is?
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah. The mom wants her to go towards the medical path, and Eliza, the main character, is just really more literary.
Mm-hmm. Now is that code for what's going on with you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Zoe and I are like diehard English majors. It didn't take much to get it. We didn't want to ever be doctors like Eliza did, but we were feeling the pressure from people as we were applying to college. They're like, so what's your major going to be? And we're like, English. And they're like, what are you going to do with that? I'm like, well, thank you.
Here's the thing, too. This is where you're good, no matter what. First off, you can be that person that corrects people. You'll probably want to feel the need to correct me. That's okay. There's a game for people playing at home if they want. They'll take a drink if I say something incorrect and you correct me, or if I realize I say it wrong. But no, seriously. But the other good thing is that you'll have a degree, and that will just get you many more places. So even though you don't really use it, you'll be using it, which is nice. But so tell them that, like, you know what, I'm getting a degree. Now, well, do you guys want to write though, or do you guys want to just show how good you are at knowing things writing wise? It's probably more you guys want to write.
I actually want to go into publishing and editing.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So Zoe will probably end up being a writer. Right now, her major is actually communications, but we all know she's going to switch to English eventually because that's her passion.
So you want to do editing and publishing. So do you want to write your own book too, or no? You're just like copy edit, that kind of thing.
Just
Interesting. So like. No, that's fascinating. So what made you write this with Zoe then?
She wrote the year before, and then she just seemed to have a blast, and I was like, you know what, we're going to be in Writer's Craft the next year together. Why don't we try our hand at it?
What's Writer's Craft? I'm sorry.
Oh, the Writer's Craft is our class we took together.
Oh, okay.
We wrote this in, yes.
Okay, I got you. So you guys wrote this, and the teacher was like, or was it Zoe and you both were like, no, we should submit to Young Writers, or would someone else say you should submit it?
Our English teacher told us to submit it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And Zoe happened to do it last year.
Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
So I took the class with the one English teacher in freshman year, and then I just liked it. I decided to do it again senior year, because you can do that.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, he was like, why don't you guys actually try and submit something to me, because I had never submitted anything before. He was like, why don't you try and submit something, work with Zoe, and yeah.
So did he pair you guys up?
No, we were just friends.
Okay.
We're actually strangely similar.
Okay, well, that was because, sometimes in those situations, the teacher can put you together, and it's just more like it's a partnership now, which happens on projects, or it's like, no, we want to work together. So that's why I was just more intrigued by it, because I think the two, which you were coming in and they were leaving, Joelle and Elliot, they were, it was kind of a mixture of both, like, the teacher, there was like a group of like 5 or 6 of them.
And then they had all these actors and everything. Their story is much more wild than mine and Zoe's, the 24-hour thing. Oh,
right, which is insane. I didn't know. I'm from West Jeff, and so like, granted, that was like almost 15 years ago. But like, our big deal was like, we're doing Sound of Music. And that's it. And like maybe a play, but now like no, I feel like kids today in general, maybe even at West, I don't know, but like kids in general, they're having one of the girls is from Jonathan Alder, and I think she got some stuff in a writing program there, which I was like, that's so awesome. We didn't we didn't have that at all. So it's just more like, that's so rad. So you were in it freshman year,
Yeah.
and then senior year. What happened to the other 2 years? Like, what happened there?
I didn't realize I could take it twice. If I could have taken it every year, I totally would have.
Okay. That was one of those, like, was it also one of those ones where it's like, I also have a free empty space, and it's either study hall or, and it was the counselors like, hey, you could take this, but I already took it. You can take it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
I ran out of English courses to take, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be in study hall 3 periods.
Are you that AP person?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's the hardest book you've read?
The hardest book I've read?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
And that can be taken... Okay, let's go... Okay. Let's deep dive inception the question. Okay. What's the hardest book you read in terms of how it was written versus it was also just... And it could be the same book, or it was just a damn difficult book for you to get through.
Okay.
Even though, like, it might be a classic.
Okay. Sound and the Fury is definitely a really difficult book to get through because of the weird, like, the first chapter is written by Benji, who is mentally disabled, and that's where, like, the plot is. And so he's like telling all this stuff, and it doesn't go in any order, and he doesn't have any sense of past or present. And
Sound and the Fury. Sorry, because that isn't the title also a Bradbury story too. Where, like, if you step on the butterfly, it creates waves through time. That's the that's the first thing. I was like, all right, she's coming up with Bradbury, and you're like Benji. I was like, nope, no, wrong story.
No, Faulkner.
No, okay.
But he did take the title from Macbeth, and didn't Ray Bradbury
probably did too.
He took something from Macbeth too, so there's connection.
Everyone takes everything from Macbeth.
I know. Macbeth is hard to read too. Throw that out there.
No, yeah, Shakespeare in general I find is very. So you like Shakespeare, but that one's hard. But you said The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the other one?
Oh.
Or is there another one? Or is it both hard to understand and difficult to read through?
It's definitely difficult to read because of the strange setup. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I really struggled with symbolism. That was the last one we read this year in English class. And he was like, you got to write this timed writing. It's 300 points on it. Our essay was a timed writing.
Sure, yeah.
And so like, you got to sit in class and you got to write it. And I was just like, oh boy.
Now, so I was in 9th grade English AP, and it was fine. It was just a bad year for me. I should preface that. Because I thought I was doing okay up until one point, and then, like, after Christmas break, things just got hectic, and then my grades started falling apart, kind of thing. But my teacher was awesome, and she's like, look, here's a list of books. She gave me a list of books we could read, and some of them had asterisks. The asterisk ones were ones that were considered more difficult to read. There was then at the bottom 2 asterisks, and at the bottom there's like 5 books with 3. And I just remember War and Peace. Let's go for that. She's like, this will save you from an F. And I was like, then let's do War and Peace. And she's like, but don't buy those little help books.
Yes,
I was like, Spark Notes, Cliff Notes. Back in the day, it was Cliff Notes. Is it called Spark Notes now?
Yeah.
Things are changing. I don't like it. I'm sorry, a very old man moment.
There was a thing on NPR when they were like, it was IFF, and they had to name off trivia of words with IFF, and they were like, students use this to help them, and it was Cliff Notes, and I was like, nah, not anymore.
Oh, very sad, Zoidberg. But I read that, and that was a hard-ass book, because my only memory of War and Peace, besides knowing it was a movie, was it was a quote in Ninja Turtles, the first Ninja Turtle movie. It's like, what a Russian award-winning novel had over 500 characters, male and female in it. War and Peace? Guys, Master Splinter's alive. And then you're like, what? Is this a real thing? It is. Oh, God. Horrible. And it got to the point where, because you do the typical, like, who are the main characters? What's the setting like? And I was like, well, the setting's easy. That's the Russian Revolution. The lead characters...
Good question.
No, because if you ever do... Have you read it?
No.
If you ever do read it, it's interesting because there are so many characters, and in retrospect, it's also good to realize that he wrote it as like a serial in a newspaper every day after a long period of time. So it's like literally every day it's like you're getting a puzzle piece, but when you see it in final novel form, you're like, this is madness. I have no idea who the lead character is. And it got to the point where she's like, look, you are genuinely trying to read this book and you are genuine about it, like, go get Cliff Notes. And I did, and like the lead characters, like, and I tried not to read that section about who the lead characters were. I just would try to only use it when I had to, and it was probably up until the very end where like I had to do a test on it because we just did papers, and I summarized who I thought was the lead. Half of them died at some points because there's over 500 of them, and then I was like, oh, these two characters who are barely in the book, they're the leads. And it's kind of because, I guess it's because they're the last ones I don't know. I have no idea. That is that is War and Peace. Oh, shit. Well, we're going to cut that out. But that's War and Peace, and you're like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Because it is a good book, though. But that's what makes it difficult, is just because you have no idea who the leads are, and if you're trying to think like general, like this is, because you probably know this too, you can probably see a story when it's coming a mile away. Like Chekhov's gun, it will go off in the third.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. Now, do you hate when Chekhov's gun goes off and you didn't know there was a gun?
What? I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Maleficent?
No.
Oh, you are a good person. Let me spare you some pain, and you can go, oh, that's painful. So they try to make Maleficent like a character you like, which whatever, sure. Angelina Jolie does a good job, sure. But they said that, oh, she's a happy little fairy sprite, and she falls in love with this prince, and the prince betrays her by ripping out her fairy wings. So then she becomes a dark, evil, cold. Yeah, you're like, okay. Well, as a token of his prize, he keeps her wings in his castle, and he just stares at them and thinks about how he kind of misses her, but also how she's still alive, and he's mad that he didn't kill her off. Okay. At the very end, she turns into the dragon like in Sleeping Beauty, and she's trapped. And all of a sudden, her wings just magically spring to life and save her. And I'm like, what? No, because he immediately goes, I can't grow my wings back. My wings are lost forever. And you're like, okay, sure. Like this, like, and you're going like, oh, so is this how it's going to end? She's going to die? I mean, go Disney, go you. I'm happy with this. And then they do that, and you're like, oh, Jesus. Like, there's no, it's like they just didn't care about how a story was. I'm sorry, it makes me mad. Really, because I don't ever go into a movie or story to hate it, and I walked out like, that made no sense. It made no sense. Like, come on. Like, at least in Star Wars, there's kind of rules for what's going on. Well, then they did midichlorians, and it's stupid, but like, you know what I mean, there's rules for your world building. Yeah. And so you set up rules for how the universe works. And at the beginning of Maleficent, they kind of set up that once a fairy's wings are ripped off, they either die but her hatred was so strong it kept her alive. And you're like, okay, right. But now, and then her wings just magically attach themselves. You're like, what? No, you didn't explain any of that. Rules. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. So, so now you never have to see that.
Yes.
And it's okay. It's okay. You're welcome. I saved you therapy bills. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So,
the void is actually our Chekhov's gun.
What's that?
The void is our gun in our play.
Okay, tell me more on that, because I did the test reading of it, and I'm like, how is it the gun in a way? Because it doesn't necessarily go off per se at the end.
Yeah, but she goes into it at the end, and the revised ending.
That's right. Yes.
Oh, did I not explain this way?
No. Well, it's okay. We've Inception.
Yes. Back to like the original question.
The original question that started the whole show.
So at the beginning, in our first 9 drafts, she stood at the threshold of the void and was like contemplating her life and all that. Then we decided we just want her to go in, so she ends up like walking into it. The door closes on her.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I thought the one that I read, she was thinking about it, and it just kind of ended.
Yeah.
And which I really like too. The man in the suit is just more like and this is my take on it. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong. He is the dude who's just like, I've been here before, and I'm now here.
Yeah.
Let me drop some lovable knowledge on you, because I'm that character.
Yes.
Which I thought was rad. Because that's a very hard role to play off too, because you're kind of a dick, but then you're like, I'm a dick with a heart of gold here to help you out at the last moment, even though I've been here the whole time. Which again, I love. I thought that was great, and it's very hard to play that. So I think the guy they have playing it, I was walking through the rehearsal, trying not to interrupt theirs because we were in the back. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I haven't seen anyone.
You haven't seen?
No, I was there for casting and for auditions, but then I'm bad with names too, so I didn't really remember who was who, so I'm excited.
That's awesome. So you guys were both you and Zoe there for that?
Yes.
So now, did you guys agree or disagree on that?
We pretty much agreed. Yeah.
You pretty much.
It was a wild day for me because we also had our Beauty and the Beast performance that day. Oh, so we were like there in the morning, and then we had theater at night, so we had to leave a bit early.
Oh, the joy of theater! Like, who were you in Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, I was just ensemble. It's pretty exciting.
No, that's so awesome, though. I think I like theater, though. So yeah. So I think that's rad. And also, it's Beauty and the Beast. Now, is it Beauty and the Beast Junior? Is that what they call it?
We went all out. We had the grown-up one.
Oh, thank God.
Or at least the high school one. I don't know if there's a really grown-up Beauty and the Beast.
Well, I think one of the was it. In what school do you go to again? I'm sorry.
Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley. Oh, dear Lord. I have a horrible memory, too, so I'll probably go, what school you go to again? Here's the thing, I probably did ask Joelle and Elliot, and I just don't remember. But I remember I used to live off of Salisbury or Sawmill Road area, and I would have to, 315, you have to drive by with Worthington Kilbourne, I think. It was one of the Worthington high schools, and I'm just going like, and you would see Aladdin Jr., Beauty and the Beast Jr., and I'm like, really? What are they cutting out? Like, what are
It's already Disney.
It's already Disney. What are you cutting out?
Usually, I think they just cut it down for length because those little 12-year-olds can't handle the whole 2 hour.
I don't care. You know what? Suffer through, and you know what? Here's the thing: if you put a child and they can, that makes me so mad. Okay, I love The Lion King. Have you seen Lion King on Broadway?
No.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. Have you seen the original Lion King though?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. So, a lot of people make fun of Disney, saying that they ripped off Kimba the White Lion, and but it's actually it's King Lear, I think, or no, it's Hamlet. Or Hamlet. It's Hamlet. Yeah, it's Hamlet, and the original storyline is that Scar, or the evil brother, kills the dad, and then the original king, and then he then marries the ex-wife or the widower. You know what I mean? And does all that, or marries the love interest of Hamlet. Either way, like, it's not good. It's very, but, and Disney, so in the original edit, like, they wrote a thing where it was Scar got with Nala, or it tries to, and that's why she runs away from the Pride Lands. And so if you watch the musical, they did a musical number to go with that whole thing, and it leads into Nala going, well, I'm leaving, I can't stay here anymore because he wants to get with me, and that's weird. And also, he's a horrible person, or animal. Whatever. But like, it's one of my favorite songs, and like, they just beat the shit out of that song for like I feel like they Disney Junior'd their own musical for normal, like, because I remember I was like, if you like Scar, you're gonna love his second Act 2 entrance. It's like the Madness of King Scar. It's like a very Music Man-ish, like, kind of sing-songy, because he's talking to himself. He's like, oh, it's good to be king, but yet everyone hates me. And then Zazu's doing his, like, I've got a wonderful... But yeah, it's the whole scene. It's awesome. It's literally like a 5-minute song cut down to like a minute, and you're like, what is going on? No, right, if you have the soundtrack, you can hear the original, but and it's really good. I mean, the only thing I don't like in the Broadway version is Scar at the end of Be Prepared does like a weird disco number, which I don't love, and I'm like, I guess let's make Scar dance. No, because the set design's really neat. They do this massive thing where the cartoon humor, Scar does his big the rocks are rising. Yeah. So he does this thing where the actor gets on a staircase, and the staircase starts like slowly moving as he climbs up and doing the big sweet. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's so awesome. And then at the end, they just stop, and disco music kicks in, and they all start, like, the hyenas and him start doing like a weird dance, and then like, be prepared, bump, and they're like, weird dance number. So what's your so do you want to keep doing theater then? I know your goal is to do publishing, but do you still want to do theater then? Yes,
I love theater. Yeah.
So what stuff are you drawn to then?
Mostly ensemble roles. That's been my life.
Well, sometimes you got to step out in front and not be ensemble, though, because at some point they don't really do ensemble as much anymore.
Yes. No, I mean, I'm not continuing with theater, being on stage at least. I'm hoping to continue to write, maybe.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because that was the thing, is because you're like, I'm not really going to write book, but I was talking in books, so but plays you want to keep doing.
Yeah, or at least editing plays. I could edit literally anything and be happy with it.
Oh, wow. Fair enough. That's usually not what people hear. No, that's awesome. That's fascinating because, usually it's the other way around. It's like, I want to write, and boom, that's it. I want to write. I want to do, but it's never. I want to edit plays. Or I just want to edit. That's a rarity. I feel like. So, what made you want to do that, man? Because I would rather write.
Strange, yeah.
Well, no. Look, it's not strange. It's just not my reality. I rather just write, and also I'm horrible when it comes to spelling. You know what I mean? I don't say words good. So so I need an editor, but you know what I mean? But other people, I feel usually that's the norm. So what makes that unique for you?
Okay, it's a bit of a mixture of two things. For one, I am definitely the less creative one on our team. It's always the one that came up with the whole interrogation thing. The Void was a mixture of both of us because the Void is just magical like that. But she was very the original idea, and then I would go in and fine tune the dialogue that she wrote and change up certain phrases and stuff. So I've always been. As much as I love coming up with good ideas, they usually just don't come to me, and I'd rather help someone else's with theirs.
You're a garbage human is what you're saying right now. Okay. No, I'm kidding. That's Kyle. That's a word she throws around. She's like, I am a garbage human being. I ate Chipotle today or whatever. You're
not a garbage if you eat Chipotle.
I agree. And also, I think Kyle's not a garbage. I think Kyle's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I love
Kyle. But she says that, and I was like, I also just like her to hear her say that word. It's just funny. So lately, I've been throwing it around at people. It's like, it's okay. You're a garbage human being, and they're like, okay, thank you. No, you're not. Okay. And if I did say it in a minute, it was a sign of affection, as in, good job, you're a great human being. We're all, actually, in our own way, we are all garbage human beings.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I worked really hard at that. It only took being delusional at the age of 36 to come up with those little pearls. Pearls before swine. I don't know. Now, as an editor, you would say, edit that out because that was not funny. And I'd be like, you're right. No, so that's the other thing too. Would you do you want to be the editor who actually suggests stuff, or you just want to be the editor who's take it out, spelling is bad, words are hard for you, why? Take it out. Yeah. Or you want to be I think this could also work here, or you one of those?
I feel like you gotta be a mixture. I'm definitely not the one who is here's this brilliant idea to help with your other brilliant idea, because that's not really what I do, but I would like to help. They've got an amazing idea and help them work it into a story, how we were talking earlier, how the natural fall of a story. Yeah. Because once they have something brilliant, you don't want it to go to waste. Because I feel like there are so many brilliant stories out there that people just don't have access to because they didn't have an amazing editor to help them get it through. That
is a wonderful point. I think I'm being sincere. I could probably use you. That's what I was really getting at. It's that's a wonderful point. Where were you years ago?
Okay, I'll graduate from college and get back to you.
There you go. That's why you can charge me the big money. You're no, I have a degree.
Yes, my English degree is actually going to be useful.
Yeah. Touche. Because earlier I was saying it might not. So well done. Well done.
Yes, it's always an awkward thing where people are so what are you going to do? And then I say editing and publishing, and then they're well, that's actually a good idea. And then I'm well, hold up. I could have done anything with it.
Well, that is true. I'm not trying to deter you, though. Let me be very clear. I feel like I'm now the dream killer. No.
It's fine. I'm solid. I found my void. I'm good.
So you're a fan of voids. I remember that very clearly. You're yes. Also, I like this, and voids. I was I see what she did there. That's clever. So what else are you into then outside of voids, of course?
Okay. I like reading. That goes along with writing.
No, I don't know. I mean, Stephen King says we should do it every day, but I don't know about him. He's not all there.
Yeah, he doesn't really have it going for him. So maybe we should listen to his advice.
I mean, I only follow his tweets with bated breath. No, I do. Do you enjoy Stephen King?
I've only read Carrie. Not gonna lie.
Really? Oh.
I liked it though.
I like that. Nice save. No, you should read more Stephen King.
I definitely should.
But can I let you in on a little secret?
Yeah.
I've only read 2 books.
Okay.
So I've
only read 1, so we're on the same page here.
Yeah. So I read Eyes of the Dragon, and this is years ago.
Oh, I don't think I've even heard of that one.
Well, now it's considered part of canon of something. And I'm I got it on the ground floor. And then I've read On Writing by Stephen King. So the weirder ones. But I enjoy his movies.
I guess.
Yeah.
Love The Shining.
Oh, yeah, The Shining. Well, which one? The newer one or the original one by...
There's a newer one?
Yeah, they made a... Oh, yeah, bro.
Okay,
so,
definitely the older one.
With Jack Nicholson, where he dies in the snow and that really weird...
Iconic.
Yeah.
Where he comes out of the doorway.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Here's Johnny. Yeah. Oh, fun factoid, and this is horrifying if you're an actor. Yeah, he didn't... Kubrick, because he's straight like that, he kind of tortured what's her name during that, in terms of like not directly, just like how he directed, like he told Jack to come up with an actual thing. He said, and she just told him, look, on this take, just make sure you don't come up to this point. And she thought it was just going to, like, movie magic. Like, he actually took an axe to that door.
Oh my god.
And scared that's real, genuine fear from, I think it's not Shelley Long, it's Michelle Duvall, I think Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
And that's real fear.
Oh,
and
sweet.
Yeah, and so he would do stuff like that to her, which I'm like, look, I kind of understand wanting to get a real performance, but that's kind of going too far. So you like The Shining. What other stuff? What other movies do you like?
Okay, my friends and I like to watch horror movies, but totally like the lame ones. Where
do you make fun of? Is like, do you guys Mystery Science Theater 2000 then?
We watched this one called Don't Breathe about these kids that broke into a house, and then the guy's blind, so they think they're going to get away with it. But then he ends up being totally badass, and they... Was I not supposed to do that?
Oh, no. Here's the thing. You are a young mind, and I should not be saying okay. And because your parents might get mad at me if you let they listen. That's why I will keep that in, because that is a genuine adult conversation thing before. Unlike before where I just randomly spouted it off. You are fine. Hey, I don't care if you cuss, but I am trying not to. Shit. What? Continue.
Moving on. Okay, so the guy is totally badass, and it ends up being like this life or death.
Yeah.
With the adult and the two kids. Well, 3 kids at the beginning, and then all of that. So we... Yes.
Amari, this is awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so, like at the beginning, the kids are trying to rob him, so you don't have sympathy for them, and then the movie makers try and build sympathy through them in a totally disgusting way, and it just doesn't work, and we're like, no, they still try to rob him. And yeah, the guy is creepy, but everyone sucks in this movie.
Oh, man. So... It's a TV movie. I think they have it out somewhere, but it's Stephen King. So pretty much he didn't love the ending to how Kubrick did The Shining. So he practically did his own. He made his own book technically, but it's called Rose Red. And actually, Shining is amazing in its own right, in both story and in the original movie. I feel. I'm with you on that. Yeah. But, like, it's interesting to see what more that King does with Rose Red, because because the original Shining is based off of a house. It's kind of based off of 2 houses. It's based off of a house in Maine, Bangor, Maine, or I think it's Bangor, Maine, or Illinois. They actually shot the hotel there. Like, it's actually a creepy hotel. Cool. It's haunted. But there's also a place, I think, in California. The widow of, I think, the gun owner, his daughter, or the magnate, Weston Rifles or whatever.
Yeah.
He built a house where he kept changing it, or the wife kept changing the inside of it every few years.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this.
Right,
like a BuzzFeed Unsolved video.
Right, and so it's kind of like it's either haunted or there are rooms that no one knows about.
Yeah, rooms that, like, where there are doors that literally open out to dead air.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Well, so it's practically a mixture of those two things, because The Shining is kind of like that, kind of not. You get the sense that the ghosts are just completely changing the hallway. Not as horrible as you would think it would be for being a TV movie.
Yeah.
But you like horror movies. Are there any other movies that you guys like?
I personally love The Imitation Game. That's, like, hands down one of my favorite movies ever.
So good. And Benedict Cumberbatch.
I guess so.
Yeah. Do you watch Sherlock?
Yes, of course.
So, see, you watch some current things.
I do watch some random things, yeah.
Random things, sure. Another good show, if you're so inclined, it's a BBC America show, because they do quality stuff, is, BBC, it's Broadchurch.
With David Tennant?
Yeah.
Yes, because I watched the, 9, 10, 11 of Doctor Who.
You're not watching 12 right now?
No. I couldn't get into it.
Okay, I will say the first... Oh, man. So, I did not love the first season. Well, here's the thing. Do you like Clara?
Yeah, I do, generally, yeah.
Okay. I like Clara. A lot of people don't like Clara. I was one of my friends, which that's because they're weird. No, that's their right. I don't know. Well, I think they were really upset that Clara had that amazing ending, and then she changed her mind, I think, because remember, she grew old, and that was originally her ending, and then the actress was like, I want to come back, and Moffat's like, okay, it makes my job easier from them writing a new, But so the first season of with 12, because, he seems kind of out of it, that's the whole first season up until the very end, and then the next season it's like I feel like Capaldi went up to them and was just like, look, can we get to my doctor now, and not like this weird, he doesn't really know who he is, or he's just a grumpy Gus, because he's kind of a grumpy Gus, but he's a lovable grumpy Gus. Like, he has sonic screwdriver glasses.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the first scene, I think, in the first episode, I think they're in a medieval castle, and his first entrance is, because I think the doctor is absent for, like, the first 5 minutes, Clara just shows up. The master is now a girl, and they don't explain how they get there, and she's kind of hard-ass. And then you get to... And then the doctor comes in a medieval castle on a tank, rocking a heavy metal guitar, and and that's very Peter Capaldi. Yeah. Just like David Tennant's very much. I like the jacket, and just like Matt Smith's like bow ties are cool. I was like, this is so rad. And after that point, he is what you always want him to be in the last season. Okay. So if you can, I know
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Because and then also his run's ending right now, and it's really good. And they brought back John Simback as the master.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's the first televised wise where they ever had two masters on screen at the same time. Because they've done that with the Doctors.
Yes, the 50th anniversary.
Yes.
Did you watch that live? It was so much fun.
Oh my god, I saw it in theaters, and so they did...
Oh, you did? I'm a little bit jealous.
Oh yeah, so supposedly it's on the DVD, but one of my favorite bits was, because we saw it, so I have to ask, who's your doctor?
Tennant. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we got a high five on that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I love Tennant. And,
yes.
Okay, now have you seen Jessica Jones on Netflix?
No.
Okay. I'm going to brace you. He is a good actor. Okay. I mean, it's evident if you've seen Broadchurch, he is a good actor, but he's a bad guy in Jessica Jones. Okay. Creepy. Like, if you watch that first and then try to watch a doctor, you will probably not. I have not met that person yet, but I'm terrified to meet them because I love David Tennant a lot. But like when I watched Jessica Jones, he plays a character called the Purple Man. Well, that's his nickname, but like I forget his other name. But they don't, because in those movies they don't really call you the fake superhero name. It's just I think it's like Algrave or something like that. But he thinks of himself as a gigantic purple man because he wears purple all the time. Sure, and it's David Tennant, but literally like Tennant can control you with pheromones he exudes, and so it gets creepy. So he does horrible things to Jessica Jones, but it bothers her. Like 10 years later, it still haunts her. Like she'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden you'll hear Jessica, and then he'll come up and lick her face, and then it's just it. Yeah. And so like my wife and I are watching, and we love Tennant, and we're just kind of like, oh God, I'm so glad I watched Doctor Who first. Right. And the thing is, look, he's kind of a jerk in Broadchurch, but I mean, like, it's a well-rounded character.
I haven't seen Broadchurch.
Oh, you haven't seen Broadchurch?
No.
Okay. If you watch it, like, it's phenomenal. It's a whole season was one murder.
Okay. That sounds like this other Netflix show, Paranoia.
I've heard of it, yeah.
That one's really good. I like murder TV shows, too. I should add that to my list of likes.
No, yeah. So, okay. Do you like Harry Potter then?
Oh yeah, I love Harry Potter.
Books too?
Of course, I'm rereading them this summer because the epilogue will take place this September 1st, 2017.
On Pottermore?
No, just like in general. You know how the epilogue is like September 1st, 2017? So 17 years later?
No, I did not. I thought it was just a very nondescript so many years later.
Oh, no, it's like exact.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people have been rereading it. And
that's awesome.
Just finished the 5th one. It makes me so sad.
So I don't have a lot of time. So I remember because I didn't read the books, I saw the movies first. But I always, like, my one friend Jimmy, I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
I think Snape should have the ending. I don't forgive Snape.
What? Really?
Yeah.
You are the third person that I've now talked to, and all of the young writers people feel the same exact way.
Maybe it's just a kid thing, but he was just so horrible to Harry. I can't forgive him for it.
Everyone usually in my age is like, oh, Snape.
Yeah, it's a different, strange generation divide.
No, but again, that's so fascinating, though, but it's so great that we all still love the stories, though, which is awesome. I just find that so great. Well, thank you. Oh, and you wrote The Void. That's actually kind of the reason you're here. Thank you so much for coming out. The Void, it's going to be a young writer. Are you night 1 or 2? You're 2, right?
Night 2, yeah.
You're night 2. So it's Saturdays. For more information, because I don't remember them right now because I'm a horrible host, go to madlab.net. And it's 3 weekends, not 2, as I remember last time, I was, you know what, I'm going to try to wing it. Okay? Let's see here. So, the 15th, 22nd, and 29th with an encore on the 23rd.
Yes.
Which is a Sunday. I know, whoa. It's at 3 p.m. See? I'm good.
Yeah.
It took me...
You're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm going to be a real good host one day. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. This is so much fun. And young writers, check it out. All right.
Get out of here without cheese! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you showed up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!